I can see Mary. Let me welcome. I can see 10 people. Can someone help us drop the lecture has started? So I want to welcome. I can see Ayo Ojekemi. I can see Abdul Malik. I can see Joseph Amos. I can see Mary. I can see Olakode, Roslyn, Olushola, Akinshola, Victor, Ohia. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. You are all welcome. Magdulis, I can see you. You are welcome. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to, yes, think I late today. I'm 9 minutes behind our schedule. We're going to jump quickly into what we have today. Today, we are going to start our lecture 5. We are going to start straight with strategic management and performance tool. And we're going to start with a question. We're going to look at a question. Some of the things they ask in case study, they talk about risk, governance, CSR, technology, soft skill. These are some of the things in the new syllabus, and we want to look at a case study to address this. So we're going to start with this, approaching it from question perspective. I normally say that in case study, no one is going to ask me to define strategic management or define performance. No, it will come in form of application of your understanding of what is strategic management, what are the performance tools, and all of that. That's the way it's going to come. Yes, that's the way it's going to come. So we're going to start looking at but if we do that, I want to know that first of all, we talk about strategic tools. They are talking majorly about some models. They are talking about models, certain tools, certain techniques you can use to what? Make a strategic decision. Your line is lowering. Okay. Please, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me?
Yes, no.
Yes.
Okay.
I can hear you now better. It's before it's breaking. It's breaking.
Okay. Okay. So, but what I want you to know, basically, particularly under this topic, we're going to focus on looking at some strategic tools, some performance tools. We're going to look at them. Majorly when we mention performance management tools, we are talking about balance scorecard, marketing intelligence, benchmarking, and the rest. And when we talk about strategic tools, we are going to be talking about hands-off matrix model, BCG model, and some of them. We're going to be looking at them in this question, but we're going to look at them from this perspective. How will the question be set in that area? How do I approach it? So that is why today I just say let's not start with theory. What is the strategy financing? No, let's start with a question. Let's come from question perspective. How would a question be asked? That is now just our understanding. And for your information, I look at past question. I saw that benchmarking as a model was tested in May 2022. Balance scorecard and performance scorecard, we can call it balance scorecard or performance scorecard. They use the word interchangeably, still meaning the same thing. It was tested in May 2021. SWOT analysis and PESTEL. SWOT analysis and PESTEL was tested in the same diet in November 2018. I just went back a few years back to see. SWOT and PESTEL also was tested in May 2018. It was tested again in November. Both SWOT and PESTEL. It was tested consecutively. In fact, in May 2018, they looked at they look at competitive advantage, core competence of the company. It was tested. In 2017, Porter's value chain model was tested. Benchmarking was tested again in 2016, November diet. SWOT was tested in May 2016. Balance scorecard was also tested in November 2015. And also in May, SWOT was tested. Both SWOT, somebody has asked me, can they possibly test two models in a diet? This analysis I have done shows that it is possible. They can test two models in a question in a diet. Because in May 2015, they tested SWOT analysis and they tested Porter's value analysis. I went back to, yes, I think I've given us, yes, in May 2022, benchmarking was tested. Risk, we are going to be talking about risk identification and risk management was also tested in May 2022. Yes, balance scorecard, break-even, performance score was tested in May 2021. I think I've mentioned that. So these are the years where various just start. Now, let's look at this question. The question says, ABC Manufacturing PLC implemented a new ERP system. ABC implemented a new ERP system, but failed to train staff adequately. Error in reporting customer dissatisfaction. This led to error in reporting customer dissatisfaction. So this led to, this led to error in reporting customer dissatisfaction and reputational damage. The board is concerned about weak governance. The board is concerned about weak governance and poor risk management around technology implementation. Question: what governance and risk issue can be identified in this case? What governance and risk issues can be identified in this case, and how should management address it? Look at the question again. ABC Manufacturing implemented a new ERP system but failed to train staff adequately. This led to error in reporting customer dissatisfaction, reputational damage, and the board is concerned about the weak governance and poor risk management around technology implementation. So what is the weak governance that's here? Let's look at the solution to this question. In terms of risk, we are talking about the risk issue there is that poor training. Operational risk is identified in that place. The poor training is equal to an operational risk. The poor training, because people were meant to be trained for the new ERP, people were not trained. That we can identify an operational risk. Inadequate data and poor service, that is what that will result to. People that you do not train about ERP now, of course, what do you expect to get? So that is identified. In terms of governance issue, what is the governance issue here? Lack of oversight by the board. Lack of oversight by the board in ensuring adequate change management. When you are changing from one system to another, you are supposed to run parallel, the old system and the new system. You discard the old system until you are sure that the new system is working properly and is giving accurate reports. This is governance issue about the director or manager that is in charge to supervise that project to ensure that there is no gap. The necessary trainings are done. So there is lack of oversight by the board member who is in charge. The board member who even approved the ERP, suppose he asks a question to answer. So that is the governance issue there. About what? About ensuring adequate change management and IT governance is lacking. What is the customer social CSR implication? Because you said that this has affected reputation. The reputation with customer. Reputation, because customers are dissatisfied. So there's reputation with customer and suppliers. The reputation with customers and supplier is at risk. And this is a violation of shareholders' trust, because customer and supplier, they are part of stakeholders of a company. They are part of the stakeholder. And this is a violation of the stakeholder trust. And this is an issue in a better perspective. When you look at, don't be looking at, is it not ERP? Is only the staff of the company? No. Maybe the ERP, they are supposed to generate a report to give to customer. Maybe customer want to request for their account balance, request for their statement of account. They could not generate it. They could not produce it. Customers are dissatisfied. Suppliers. So the reputation in the area of customer and supplier is at risk. And this is a violation of what? A stakeholder's trust. What is the soft skill that has to do with this? The manager failed to communicate the change effectively. Get down here. Ability to communicate, to be achieved to the line and execute. This is a soft skill issue, because looking at person, you are getting that soft skill. Because you are not look at it from that perspective. It's a soft skill. You report and they look for when during the interview, team spirit, people's skill, ability to relate with people, because you cannot work in isolation. This is a soft skill you should look out for. Because this manager has a soft skill. Professional exam, as you know, you are looking at accounting and credit. No. We are now looking at, does the manager have soft skill? What are the CSR issue in this matter? What is the governance issue that is here? That is what? What is the recommendation? Establish strong IT governance framework. They need to establish a strong IT governance framework. They need to conduct staff training and change management workshop. They need to improve on the board oversight, especially on a major technology investment, especially on a major technology project. Number 4, they need to enhance stakeholders' engagement to rebuild the trust. They need to, because definitely in the exam you will be asked, after you have identified the issue, what would be your recommendation? This is one of the things that it is inevitable in the exam. You will be required to make recommendation. What would be your recommendation? How would you draw your recommendation? Having identified the problem, having knowing the solution to the problem, what would be your recommendation? So this one say establish strong IT governance, because there's supposed to be a team lead from the IT working with the account staff or all the units that will be using the ERP. Smooth change over. Build that trust again. Stakeholder trust, we need to what? Rebuild it. The question is, when we say balancing stakeholder interest, what does it mean? When you are taking decision, you need to balance stakeholder interest. We cannot look at a decision from accounting perspective alone, or finance perspective, or calculation perspective. We need to balance our decisions on the scale of a stakeholder, because when we talk about stakeholder, we have the customer, we have the government, we have the management of the organization, we have the shareholders, we have the supplier, we have the financial institutions. All these people, you need to factor in this decision. The member of the public, the people in the immediate business environment, how would this decision sit with them? You know that we thank God that in Nigeria things are getting shape back gradually, hopefully. But it's a big learning for us. When we remove subsidy and at the same time regularized the USD, the foreign exchange rate, we took a major decision almost at the same time, back to back. How will it not affect the economy? When we are taking that decision, see, how will the member of the public, because when you remove subsidy, mean that we are not subsidizing fuel again. It's going to go to price, is going to go to almost 1,000 naira per liter. We know, and we thought of it, that how will it sit with the stakeholder? This is what we are discussing, balancing the stakeholder interests. What is implication will it have if we just say, oh, some people are committing fraud by this subsidy, just remove it, just remove it. You just remove it. You are not considering the ripple effect in the society. What is the alternative? What would be the substitute to ameliorate the effect? That is what we are discussing when we say balancing stakeholders' interest. Balancing stakeholder interest means ensuring that recommendation and strategy do not favor one group. Ensuring that recommendations and strategies, decisions we are taking, does not favor only one group at the expense of others. Employee pray about of mid ground. This is a factor when you are writing in the exam. You must factor in. Don't just think that I think they should sack the accountant. You know, when you just come, indeed, when we just come, just say, we don't like what the Minister of Finance is doing, just remove him or remove her. Do you consider so that you now go and bring who? Do you have capital to put there? Look, like that. You know, sack the accountant. You can't think like that. You have to look at the balance stakeholders' interests. That decision, how many people will it affect? How will it affect the business? That is what we are saying. That when you are taking decision, don't look at one side of the group because it will favor the shareholder. What about other stakeholders? Let's look at a question. XYZ Oil PLC plan to cut 30% of staff. XYZ Oil PLC plan to cut 30% of staff in order to improve profits. However, this decision creates a backlash.
Your line is breaking. You didn't.
Unions and
Sorry, sir.
community.
The voice is cracking. The
It's
voice is cracking.
cracking, please. We are not enjoying it.
Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. Is it my network? Is it better now?
You don't. Yes, it's still cracking now. You see, my net is cracking. You don't. It's not flowing.
Mary, you are raising your hand. You want to say something? I can see Mary raising her hand.
Yes, I wanted to ask a question, but I know you are trying to, maybe when you're done. But before I forget the question, it's about the scenario you just answered, where you listed I think you mentioned the problems, right? So I just want to ask, under examination condition, whereby you've listed the problems and you want to give your recommendation. And then I think one of the problems you listed that I think in that very last question was a lack of effective communication, if I'm right. So, and I'm now asking, when you're making your recommendation, is it also proper that you tell them that management should have an effective way of communicating, right?
There is nothing wrong with that too. Yes,
Okay,
it's a good suggestion.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Even in the only thing, thank you for that question, Mary. The only thing when you are making, don't attack person. If it was MD that took that decision, don't even mention the name of MD. And when you are doing it, you do it as if you are part of it. You know, you are saying that I think we have done well, but you know, you are putting it that, oh, I think we should next time we should find a better way of communicating this thing. So you will not mention that, oh, it was because MD did not communicate it. It was because production manager. No. Find a better way of putting it without mentioning anybody's name, without attacking a person. It was obvious already that we have goofed. We have taken a wrong decision. It has customers have complained. So when you are suggesting, you don't need to mention him. Just address the point. Address the point, what we should do better next time. Okay, thank you. So let's continue. So he said that SIPSC plan to cut down staff to improve profit. However, this will, he said this creates a backlash from employee, union, and community leader, shareholder support, and the rest. Question: how should management balance interests of all stakeholders? How should management balance in this kind of situation? How would management be able to balance interest of stakeholder? The stakeholder interests, profitability and returns. The primary, most of the state, they are looking at what? Profitability. Most of the shareholders, they are looking at profitability and returns. They want to be sure that company is making profit and will get returns by way of dividend that will be shared at the end of the year. You consider employees' interests. Employees want to be sure that they have job security. They know that if the company is not doing well, they might be forced to sack people. Job security and a fair treatment. A fair treatment is that they know that, oh, they are paying our pension. We have access to medical facility. Our salaries are paid on time. They look at community, local employment, employing these indigenes, employing people from the community. They know that if the company is not doing well, there's no way they can employ more people. It is when the company is doing well, they are expanding, then they will need more hands. And the company will also be able to contribute economically or, financial wise to support the growth in the economy. The growth in the community. To support the growth in the community. Maybe community is doing inter-sport, or a particular road is bad, they want to support them, or they are doing one festival or community something. Looking at a better way, maybe they want to build school or provide, some sort of public water, public toilet, something that almost everybody in the community can enjoy. That is the perspective. The question again says that how should management balance the interests of all the stakeholders? This is how. They look at the profit and return. They look at job security and fair treatment of staff who are working there. They look at what? Local employment, economic support to the member of the community. What would be our recommendation? Instead of massive layoff, what should we do? Instead of massive layoff, they should look at gradual automation. They should look at gradual automation with retaining for staff, retaining the key staff. Instead of laying them off, they can look at how can we automate the system. How can we automate the processes? Because if you just do 30% layoff, the people you are laying off can sabotage the system. Voluntary retirement package for those that are for willing employees. That could people that they are already old, they have reached retirement age. They will opt out that I think I've already gotten to time to retire. Let me take a bow. Then prepare a good package. Plan for a good retirement package for such people that will be willing to retire. Engage stakeholders in dialogue to explain the rationale. Engage the stakeholder, engage the employees that are involved. Don't just say, what would they do? We are management now. We can take any decision and you just lay them off. Engage them. Look at how you let them see the rationale why we need to take that decision. And this approach, we balance profitability, which is the interest of shareholder. We balance employees' welfare, which is the interest of the staff. We balance corporate social responsibility, which is the interest of the community. which is the interest of the community. Next one, we're going to look at another strategic tools called PESTEL. PESTEL. PESTEL is an acronym, and this model is used to analyze external macro environment of a business. Is used to analyze external macro environment of a business. PESTEL is the model that analyzes the political, economic, social, technology, environmental, and legal factor affecting a business. A good example is a Nigerian bank considering digital banking. A Nigerian bank considering a digital banking must evaluate. A Nigerian bank that is considering to do a digital banking must evaluate the following. Number one, P is for political. You look at what is CBN regulation. What are the CBN regulation? Are we, if we do digital marketing, are we going to violate any CBN regulation? Or is there any CBN regulation that support what we want to do? E stands for economic. You look at effects of inflation, forex rates, will foreign exchange rate, will it affect this decision, this project that I want to embark on? You look at the social customer preference for mobile app. The community where you operate, do you have customer that will prefer to use mobile app? Some people up to now, they still don't use mobile app. They go to bank physically to conduct their transaction. No matter how you tell them, banks have now started compelling it. When you enter bank now, they will say, you want to collect 100,000. You cannot collect 100,000 from counter. Download our app. Download it now, and do the transfer or do whatever you want to do from it. They now compel people. When they saw the number of people that are still not using the mobile app, and they have invested a lot of money to create the mobile app, and a lot of customers are not using it, you will still see people that will walk into the bank and queue for 3 hours to collect 3,000 naira or 5,000 naira. They want to send 3,000 to somebody. They will come and queue in the bank for 3 hours, 4 hours. This is something you can transfer from your mobile app if you download it. Some of them, their excuse, they don't have smartphone. Some have smartphone, they are afraid. We look at the T. The T talks about the technology, cyber security risk. If I download mobile app, what if I transfer to wrong person? What if they hack my mobile app? What if when I sleep, is another person doing transaction on my mobile app? For those that are not knowledgeable, they think that if I sleep now, once I download the mobile app, they can transfer all my money out. That is their fear. Let's look at what? The environmental sustainability practice. Is this thing sustainable? Is it sustainable? Would you be able to maintain the mobile app? Would we be able to service it? The L, the legal. You look at the data protection law. Is this decision in line with the data protection law? Are there data protection law to protect us, to protect our customer and protect their money? If we compel them to start using mobile app, you look at that. This is how to analyze when you are using PESTEL. A case study question, say GT Bank wants to expand mobile banking. What PESTEL factors should be considered? GT Bank want to expand mobile banking. What PESTEL factors should be considered? Number one, they should consider the CBN policy. They should consider inflation. They should consider the youth technology adoption. How many youths that are technologically inclined to adopt this new this thing want to deploy. You look at the effect of cybersecurity. Would we be able to mitigate the effect of cybersecurity? Would we be able to protect customers' data, customers' information on this application? You look at the green finance demand. You look at the NDPR law, Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. You look at it. Let's look at SWOT. Let's look at SWOT. We all know SWOT. We are familiar with it. It's a technique that we use to analyze internal and external environment of a business. We use it to analyze internal and external environment of a business. PESTEL is an abbreviation of 4 words: strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. A good example is Dangote Cement. If you look at analyzing, using these techniques to analyze Dangote Cement, S stands for strong brand. Dangote Cement has a strong brand. We all know it. We can all attest to it. Number 2, they have economic of scale. There is a factory, a big factory where they can produce this cement in large quantity. W, weakness, high debt. They need to borrow money to finance these capital projects. They are highly indebted. That is the weakness. Number next, which is O, opportunity. There is market in Africa. There is opportunity to expand the business in Africa. People are tired of paying rent to landlord. They are now building their house, that even if it is a room and parlor, a room alone, let me build it. Let me go to my village. Let me go and build. There is a market to be serviced. What are the threats? Some of the things they will need to import them. They will need foreign exchange. Some of the equipment, they need to import them. They will face the threat of foreign exchange volatility, fluctuation in foreign exchange. This is how to analyze. Let's look at this question. What strategic option can Dangote Cement derive from SWOT? What strategic options can a Dangote Cement derive from its SWOT? Number 1, they need to leverage on their strengths to explore the opportunity. They need to leverage on their strength to explore the opportunity. Expand in Africa. They need to expand. What is their strength? As we have read it, strong brand. Strong brand. They have a strong brand. With that name, Dangote Cement, when they want to get additional finance, the bank will be willing. They know that they have the brand. Another thing is what? Manage the weakness. They need to manage the weakness. They need to reduce the debt in order to minimize the threat. This is how to analyze. The purpose of your strength is to leverage your strength in order to exploit the opportunity. I want you to take note. This is how to analyze. If you are given, before we started, I gave you years where SWOT analysis was tested in the exam. And it is still in the syllabus. It can still be tested. But how do I approach the question? Even if I see it in the requirement, and they say carry out a SWOT analysis. How? First of all, you need to identify the strengths, identify all the weaknesses, identify the opportunities and the threats. Now, you need to now leverage this is to leverage the strength in order to explore the opportunity. And you need to manage the weakness. You need to minimize the weaknesses. You need to mitigate the weaknesses in order to what? Minimize the threat. That is how to combine it. That is how to combine it. We move to the next one, which is Porter's 5 forces. Porter's 5 forces. Porter's 5 forces. Porter's 5 forces is a simple but a powerful tool for understanding competitiveness of a business environment. Porter's 5 forces is a strategic tool that can be used to understand, or that can be used to what? Understand the competitiveness in a business environment, and to identify the strategy, to identify potential strategy for profitability. It is when you know where a particular model, what is being used for, the purpose, where it is being used. Porter's 5 forces is used to identify competitiveness in a business environment or in an industry, and use it to identify the strategy for potential profitability. You are not in business to make loss, you are in business to make profit. So you must use the model to identify how do I make profit. This is, you know that this model is the model that talks about the threats of new entry. The threats of new entry. It talks about competitive rivalry. Another company that is selling your type of products. It talks about what? Supplier's power. Supplier's power. You must know the number of suppliers, the size of the suppliers. Supplier's power means that it's suppliers that determine your business. If the supplier say we are not supplying you, finish. Finish. That is supplier's power. That is the power does not. So how do you partner with your supplier so that you will not be disappointed, so that your business will not go down? Another threat is buyer's power. Buyer's power. Buyer's power means it is the customer that have the power. Even if you have a good business model, if you don't have customer to patronize you, the business is dead on arrival. You must identify the buyer's power. Are we in the supplier's market or are we in the buyer's market? You look at the threat of substitute. The threat of substitute, you have to mitigate another company that can come up and be doing the same thing you are doing. The threat of substitute. The moment your customer have a substitute for your product, they will stop patronizing you. So Porter's 5 forces examine competitive rivalry, supplier's power, buyer's power, threat of substitute, threat of new entrants. A good example is Telecom in Nigeria, a rivalry where we have MTN and Airtel. There are people that switch their line. They say, I don't like this MTN, let me switch to Airtel. Is that not what killed Nitel, Nigerian telecommunication? When people are not enjoying what they are paying for, the service is not even good. Let's look at the question. Assess Nigerian telecom industry using Porter's model. Assess, evaluate Nigerian telecoms industry using Porter's model. Solution. There is high rivalry. There is high rivalry. That is the truth. Look at this network. You know, before, the cost of making call is very high. Before, the cost of getting phone is high. Now, before you can get a phone of 2,000, phone of 3,000 naira, 1,000, all this button phone. They are, look at a lot of this Airtel now. They are selling SIM for free. If you are going to do, say, come at Airtel line, SIM, buy your SIM here, it is free. They will even install it for you and help you put free credit on it. There is high rivalry. Moderate suppliers' power. We have moderate suppliers' power. Strong buyers' bargaining power. Data users. You will see they are doing promo. Buy 1,000 and get 20 gig and get this. You will see as MTN is doing, Airtel is doing their own, Glo is doing. Threats of substitute. Threat of substitute. Look at now. Before, you can only, but now you can make call on WhatsApp. Once you can make call on WhatsApp. Even if you don't have credit, you can still use your WhatsApp to make call.
How, sir? You need data now.
Yes, you may not have credit, but you have data. That I know, understand. I know you need data, yes. You may have data sometimes. Of course, if you're out of data, you'll not be able to use it, but you may not have credit to make call. To make that is cell call, but you can use your WhatsApp to make call once you still have data. And you know now, before, there is nothing like somebody can transfer data to you. Now, somebody can transfer data to you. You can even borrow data. MTN is doing borrow data now. They put out a code that you don't have credit, you don't have data. Just spread this code and borrow. All these things are not there before. Low threat to new entrants. Let's look at BCG matrix. This is a portfolio.
Please explain that low threat to new entrants.
Now, low threat to new entrants is that if new person want to enter the industry, because there is a moderate supplier's power. So as a new entrant, if you are entered, there is a low threat because that market is a buyer's market. People are not saying I'm loyal to MTN again. People are not saying I'm loyal to Airtel again. They'll say I don't work in Airtel office. I'm not loyal to them. If I see another company that come up tomorrow that say they will allow me to pay 1,000 and give me 100 gig, I will go there. So there is low threat to new entrants. New people that want to do that business. You can even go and partner with MTN now. You will be selling credit to people. Because if you are coming into the business, they allow you to now come and partner. They divide different things to make people what? Just help us make people use our products. So that's what it means. And
Hello, sir.
They are coming up with new innovations. Yes, go ahead.
Hello, sir. Okay, what about the cost implication starting up business? Because I know when I did CSME, I was taught that one of the threats to new entrants also is associated with the cost. Now, are you saying that when it comes to new entrants trying to get into the business, that the cost implication will not hinder them?
No, the cost implication is there, definitely. We can't rule out cost implication. You can't go into that telecommunication industry now and say you want to be at the level that MTN is operating or the level that Airtel is operating. I don't know whether you get my point. You can see that even all these the people that used to do landline before, they are now doing small phone now. They are doing they are making their service more better now compared to what it used. Yes, the capital requirement for new is there, but you cannot, even if you don't add the entire capital, the existing people that they are ready to partner with you and patch out. That's why you see some people can. Do you know there are companies that they are now selling credit? They are doing almost, because you can partner with them, they can carve out an inch for you. Just partner with them. They don't want you to really come and compete with them. I don't know whether I have answered your question.
Yes, perfect. Thank you, sir. Wow.
Hello, sir.
Hello, go ahead.
The last example, it seems you use just only 4 out of the 5 portal sources. You made mention of a threat of substitute bias power. That means telecommunication industry has a bias power. Then suppliers power, threats of new entry. But the 5th one, it seems you didn't analyze it while trying to answer the question.
We talk about suppliers power, buyers power,
right?
Threats to substitute,
threat
of new entrants, high rivalry.
Okay, high rivalry.
Rivalry, yes. You know, competitive rivalry. We mentioned it that there is high rivalry.
Okay.
Yes, high rivalry. So that has touched everything. High rivalry. There is high rivalry, which is true. You can see that as MTN is doing promo, Airtel will not allow MTN to finish. They will come up with their own too, that you cannot take our customer.
Okay, thank you.
Sir, please, for example, when you're asked to analyze a particular problem and make your recommendation using a particular model, for example, these Porter 5 forces, and you've read the question on, and like you're trying to identify for each of those points, right? Now, what are you going to do where, of course, time constraint is there too? What do you do in the event that you're not able to identify all of these points, just like this brother just mentioned to you that you did not analyze? Maybe you did that in
it is only 3 or 4.
Okay.
First thing, know all the 5.
Okay.
Know it that, this thing, one of the things it talks about is threats to new entrant, suppliers power, buyers power, threat of substitute. Just list them first, and you are now explaining in front of this one. You understand? You first. So if it is 3, do that 3 and move on to other things that you need to do.
Okay,
but list them to show that, I know the 5. Do you understand? Because you just ask an honest question. That sometimes that you are thinking about, and you are thinking about something, you are trying to remember that, I know this thing. Don't stress yourself. Just if it's only 3 or 4, just write that 2. Even if it is 2, write the 2. Go on. Maybe later when you are coming back, it has happened to me. I was in an exam. I've answered, and that question was attempt 5 question. I've answered 4. The 5th one, I did not remember. I know the question. So I left it. I was doing other thing. That is how people that were talking beside me, they just mentioned something that, that question 5 is so. Yeah, everything I have read just come back to my brain. They were just rushing into my brain. That was how I was able to answer the 5th question. They were talking to themselves. Me, I'm not even, because I know I don't want anybody to ask me to stand up in the exam. I left them. You be talking. By the time the invigilator caught you, I'm not a part of it. So I know it was just Holy Ghost that helped me. They were talking and they just say something that I needed to remember all the thing I read about that topic. That's how everything fly back into my memory. I just started right. I was so happy for that question and I passed. I was able to attempt the entire 5 questions because they attempt 5. I was so happy. So it happens like that.
Okay, can I ask you? Can I ask my own question?
Yeah, go ahead, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. So far, so good, and I think I'm enjoying the class. My question is that in the exam, the case study, the scenario question, how can we know that what you are required to do is actually to assess the industry's business using Porter's model? Because I haven't seen a situation whereby the question will go straight like this: access Nigerian telecom companies using Porter's model. I haven't seen it. How can we identify actually we need to use Porter's model?
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's a good question. Now, you see, it's just like, you know that if I'm talking, it's a way of that you have done something. I was now talking generally. There is a way I will be talking. You will know that it be like say this thing where this person they talk. Now me they talk to, but you know, mention my name directly. They use indirect. That is the way question is. If in the pre-scene they gave us that these are the SWOT, or in the exhibit 1, they say that you're a charter accountant, your responsibility are the following: identify the SWOT analysis, the strength, the opportunity of so they have already told you in exhibit 1 as part of your responsibility as a partly qualified. They came to all the other exhibit, maybe exhibit 2 or exhibit 4. They gave us, this is the strength in the industry, this is the opportunity in the. Do you think you will know that all those information, they are not giving it for free? Oh, they are up to something in the unseen. So there are about things that they will. And so what is important in model is, you know that this model, this is what it tried to do. This model is used to test the competitiveness in an industry, and you can use it to identify the potential profitability. So once you know, and they say that the industry is very competitive, MTN and Airtel, they are fighting with Glo, they will have said all the story that by the time you put it together, you know, say this question 5 quarters analysis, you know, he just sure. I don't know whether you get my point, sir.
Yes.
Do you understand? There is a way they will be talking it. They don't need to say it direct because it's a professional exam. Nobody will say, analyze using SWOT. They will say things that you should know that this is where they are going. That is the way it is. It will not even be so difficult to know because of the thing they will have said. Every information you needed, they will have provided it. And they will have mentioned it in the responsibility of the partly qualified accountant in exhibit 1, that your part of your job is to identify the strength of the business, saying that the business, they will have told you all those things. By the time you put it together, you will know, say, you dey sure 5 quarters analysis. That's what what it will come out. You understand? Most cases, when we predict like that, it comes out exactly the way we predict it. It comes by the time you will see the requirement. That is what they are asking. By the time you will even see the solution, you will see that that's what they will put there. So that is it.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You are welcome. So I'm not going to rush this topic. We are going to continue next class. I need to join another class. We still have BCG matrix and some other thing I want us to discuss. And so we're not going to rush it. We're going to continue. We still have and the rest that we're going to talk about. We're going to continue hard on to this. I will continue from there because this partner is inevitable. You will come across it in the exam. It is simply just inevitable. Once you are writing case study, and now at the level, they do, there is a complete question in form of a case study in every courses. If you are writing SFM, you are writing taxation, there is a case study waiting for you. So some of these things, it is inevitable. That is why we will take time to dwell on it and understand it, so that when you are going to the exam, you don't need to cram anything. Because when you understand something, you don't need to cram. Whichever way they bring it, you will tackle it. Why? Because you understand. Understanding is what matters. Once you understand something, you can use your English to explain it, you will still pass. You understand?
So
Even if
this
they
one,
allow you
is
to
it
write, even if they allow you to use Igbo language, you can write it in Igbo language, you will pass. You can use Hausa to explain it, you will pass. Once you understand it. Yes.
so this topic, please, is it in the video lecture, and what chapter or episode is it?
Okay, like I said, someone has asked me this question. The video lecture for case study is strictly based on cases, but this class is recorded. My recommendation, make sure you get the replay link of all our classes. That should be your video lecture, so that you listen to it over and over, and you can come back and ask me questions where you don't understand. Thank you.
Hello, sir.
Hello.
So, sorry, sir, because the last time you said we're going to look at chapter 4 and 5. So I've been on the video lectures, and somehow I couldn't really figure out what exactly. Like,
We actually treated chapter 4 and 5. We concluded it last class.
Okay.
No, this topic, this one we are doing now is chapter 5 and 6 we are combining. This one we have started today. What we concluded was chapter 3 and chapter 4.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 3 and chapter 4. This one we are doing chapter 5 and chapter 6. Chapter 6 is about model. Chapter 5 is talking about strategic tools.
Okay.
And strategic and performance tools. So I just combine them together. Chapter 5 is talking about risk. How do you measure risk? Identify risk, governance, soft skills, how to make recommendations, how to identify them in a question. That's what chapter 5 is talking about.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Some chapters you are mentioning, is it in the study pack or in the video lecture?
Like I said, the way the video lecture is prepared is for cases. It's basically case studies. All this theory is not there. My recommendation, this class is recorded. Make sure you have the replay link you can listen to. In addition, as an integral, because this class is an integral part of your video lecture. That is it.
Yes.
Thank you.
So the chapters you are mentioning, so for purposes
all the chapters I'm
revision.
mentioning, they are in the syllabus.
Okay, in the study
When
pack.
we started, I said it. I look at the new syllabus that will be tested effective May, and that is where you can see that the dynamics of our teaching is different from what it used to be. For people that have been in our previous classes before, maybe May Diet and the rest, you see that it's a little bit different because we are doing it based on new topics that are in the new syllabus. That's what we are examining.
Hello, sir. Please, how can we access the material?
This material, like the one I said I'm going to share with admin last week, I shared it. If you contact admin, you can have it. Just that me, I cannot send it to you. It's not allowed. But if you contact our admin can grant you access to it. This one, by tomorrow, I will share it with admin too.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Good night. Have a wonderful night rest. See you again in our next class. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank-
Bye, everyone.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. God bless you, sir. Good night.